Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Cinema.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are taking a look at our top 10 games from before 2013.
That is true, we're going down back to the past with all the games. We love playing new games.
Yes.
But we also love to play these classic games that has stood the test of time and is still here and that we still love. We haven't played games for we started playing games in 2012.
Yeah.
So most of these games, if not all of them, came out before we started playing. So we have played them all after the fact, after they came out. But we wanted to do people wanted to see on our Patreon. They voted to see older games that we enjoyed most. And that is this list. That is how I made a list. Games I liked the most from before 2012,
yes.
2013.
Yeah, let's talk about how we thought making this list. Because
Yes.
I have thought about games that were made before 2013. What have you done?
It had to be a board game.
Okay, cool.
And it had to be before 2013.
Okay, so we're kind of on the same level. Here, but we don't know each other's list, so...
No, I know yours is going to have games from before 2013.
That's spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! Are you ready?
Let's just do it!
Let's go.
My
Boom.
number 10 is Suburbia. This is one of the games that we got fairly early.
Yeah.
And I remember that you thought it was so fun that you picked this up because you got it secondhand or something. And it was a little maybe above my head at the time in complexity.
Complexity, that's the word.
That's the word, complexity-ness.
It's a word you've said many times before. Complexity.
When I don't know, I just add an S at the end. I hope it's correct. But I think it's a great city building simulator-ish thing because what I do also not does it only affect my city, but it also affects what's happening in your part of the city.
Ness.
But also it makes total sense that people don't want to live next to the landfill, and you want to build the things so they benefit from each other, and the airport isn't next to the house and stuff.
Airport next to the house would be cool and not cool at the same time. It's a really good game. I remember getting it. It was so fun playing it, and I like it. It's a game. It was made before 2013. Fits the list.
Cool.
My number 10 is gonna be an old game, very old game, a game that is the first game ever published on Board Game Geek, called Die Macher. The game with the most boring theme of all themes. It is the German election system. If you're not asleep yet, the game is great.
It's so good.
It's fantastic. It's one of those it's a heavier Euro game where you still you can play it now. And if you took away a couple of the things, I wouldn't have guessed that it was almost 40 years old now. In a couple of years, that game is going to be 4 years old, and that doesn't really make any sense.
That's mind-blowing.
Because the game is fantastic, and as I said, it still holds up, and it's still a lot of fun to play. Die Macher.
It's so good. I completely forgot about it, so it's not on my list. But it should be, because it's an amazing game.
I'm going to give a shout out now to a website you might have heard of called Board Game Geek, where you can go in and you can sort the games and you can look at the games.
Yes.
And it even has the dates, the year
I know.
the game came out.
But apparently that's too low, so I had already filled up my list before I got to that horrible rating. Why don't you rate it higher? Or maybe I just forgot about it. That's fine as well.
So your list is not then your top 10 game from before. It's your top 10 list that other people also like.
Okay, I just thought that this was amazing, so I just
Let's put that under the rug and continue the list.
I figure that I've scrolled so far down that it's just I don't know any of these games anymore. I'm stopping here. My number 9 is Agricola. This is a very, very well-known and classic board game. It's by Uwe Rosenberg, and it's about farming and feeding people and trying to build a billion... Yeah, and losing horribly because you didn't get the thing that baked the bread that you needed to feed the people you have. You played this quite early on, and I didn't play it...
It's not early on. No, it's Agricola.
You're
Bye!
But you played it years before me is what I meant to say.
That's
played it 2 years ago or something?
I think a bit more, but
okay,
probably more.
But I really liked it when I played it, and it's just a great game of farming.
I didn't know you liked it this much.
I really like it.
Yeah, there's just okay. I'm excited for the rest of your
And
list.
Caverna came after 2013, so I couldn't put that here.
And you had to have one of them. That's the rule. My number 9 is Sulkin. I think this is 2012. So I think this is like, it's just barely scraping into the list. And we are going to do like playing all of these tier games and doing a ranking of them all. Yes, just update basically super briefly. We are going to do all the Lacerdas in a weekend. We have already planned for that. And then we're going to probably do another weekend with the Sulkin games or the Sulkin tier game and get those rankings out. But Sulkin is a great game. I remember first time I played it, did not like it at all. Actually, disliked it quite a bit. Didn't understand anything. Way too heavy for me. Played it again a couple of years later. I was like, whoa, this is great. And now I like it a lot. Bought a copy. Did not have any wooden pieces. We couldn't play it. I was sad. But now we have it. And we played it times and times. And I'm still horrible at it. It's a fantastic game.
It's so unique with the cogs and the wheels and the time.
Cogs and the wheels and
because
the
you
time
want
is-
to like wait to remove your pieces from the cogs so they move up first and give you the cool things. But you have to do something right, and you always need food. It's a very hard game, but it's so cool.
It's Sulkin.
So
I don't know.
My number 8 is Princess of Florence. This is also a very classical game. It's coming and new.
There was a new version last year. Yeah,
Yes,
it was
that's
already
true.
published. I haven't seen it.
We haven't played that.
I think it's just like a reprint.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything new, just like new colors.
It deserves new colors because it's a great game, and it's all about. It's so hard. It's like every round starts with an auction, which should put me off this game, but it's everything is great.
Yeah.
And you also want to like build the buildings in your tight space in your garden, and
It's
you
like
want
Tetramino
to
pieces.
So you want to fit like the buildings, and you also have other conditions for your different like people.
Yeah, it had different works.
Yes,
like,
thank you.
Occupations. Occupations, that's the word.
Yes, thank you.
Occupationsness.
To want to live there, I think.
Yeah, they're
Is
gonna
that
come.
a thing?
Basically, the theme is that they're coming to work in your garden.
Yes.
You're trying to attract them to come and work so that your kind of garden is like very high
best.
cultural.
Yeah.
That is the kind of theme.
And you want to like, and it's just like very hard to get these people to score high points for your garden.
And it's kind of like a set collection thing.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get these, what is it called, occupations that have like the same needs. So you
Yeah.
don't have to build way too many
All the
buildings.
things.
And it's super tight to build them. And then one of my favorite mechanisms is that when you score for these kind of occupations, then you have to choose between money or points. And you have to do that exactly at the time.
so hard.
It is fantastic. My number 8 is a game I have played more than any other game. It's a game I played for many, many years, and it's just a game that's always going to be important to me, and that is
know.
Magic the Gathering.
Oh, no, it wasn't
I
that.
have played that probably more than 2,000 times online and so many times face to face. I was never like super competitive, but I played so many drafts and pre-releases and releases, and just a fantastic game. I haven't played it in like many, many years, but I played once with you.
Tried it. It's not on my list.
But it's one
Spoiler
game
alert.
that is always going to be important for me as a gamer. One that like I played like games when I was young, and I played a lot of Magic, and that's another story. But Magic the Gathering is always going to be important to me, and it's still a game that I really enjoy.
Yeah, cool. My number 7 is Seven Wonders. Haha, it was fun to have the same. Yeah.
Did you do it on purpose?
No, it was actually.
It was actually number 7. Yeah.
I just think that Seven Wonders is one of the ideal. Wouldn't say like gateway because there's a lot of symbols, but it's very easy to get into the concept.
Yeah.
And also it's the one game that is just so good with bigger groups because you're doing things all simultaneously. You just have to pay attention to what your neighbors are doing, and it's super fun to draft and do the things that you want to. And like, I can now fulfill that wonder. I have gotten the resources for that finally, and maybe should I trade with you, or do the other people like need the resources less and I can trade with those instead? So just very, very good game. It's just for its purpose, I just does what the thing is supposed to do. Words.
I also think it's a good game.
Yeah.
My number 7 is In the Year of the Dragon. This is a fantastic Stefan game, especially with 4 or 5 players. Don't really want to play it with fewer. 5 players, it's super tight. And it's one of those, like, if you are used to the newer Stefan games and you go back and play this, you're going to get hit in the head with something hard. It is so hard to get anything done, and all your people are going to die. That's not what it says, but it's how it feels.
Yeah.
And it's just like so tight and so hard, and people are going to be like, oh, I'm going to go here, and you're like, nope, that's my whole plan then. Bye. Yeah, it's just like it's very simple. All the rounds, there's 12 rounds in the game. All the rounds have like the same structure, and it's super simple. Like you do one action, you play one card, you do one thing, and then you go to the next thing, and one next thing, and it's just it is a great game. If you have not played it and you like Stefan I recommend it. If you haven't played it and you don't like Stefan I recommend it.
I think you should, because it's not point salady at all.
No, very different from his newer games.
My number 6 is also a Stefan Feld game, is Trajan. This is also a great one from him. A lot of these small mini games that tie into one big game somehow. But the main mechanism that you use is actually Mancala. That's how you use your or choose your actions, and how
choose wisely,
and which like colors that you have on the spaces that you want to have, and actually the planning ahead a few turns to be like, okay, when I do that, I have now 4 cubes or what it is on this, and
cylinders.
Then I can cylinders.
They're not their hexagons.
Yes.
Cylinders.
Same mechanism either way.
Yes.
And then I can do this plan. That is awesome. So great game.
I love it.
A little easier to get things done than in the Year of the Dragon.
And you can like plan so many rounds ahead. It's a fantastic, fun game. My number 5 is one of my favorite 5-player games.
Oh.
It's Medici.
Cool.
It is a super kind of light but very fun auction game from Running Knizia. It's one of those that like if we are 5 players and we don't like have we need to play this, or we need to play this, then Medici is one that always comes to my head. Like, oh, we can play Medici because it's quick and it's fun and everybody enjoys it. I don't think I have played it with anybody who doesn't enjoy it. It's just like, Knizia makes some amazing games, and I think Medici is one of them. You are basically having these boats if we're going to flip over some cards, and you can stop either at 1, 2, or 3 cards, and then you're going to auction them off. It's a 1-round auction, so you're going to get the last word. So if people are going to be around the table or pause, and you can say, oh, I'm going to take it for that, or somebody else will buy it, and you fill them up in your ship, and you're trying to do set collection. You're trying to also have high numbers, so you can get some other bonuses here and there, but set collection for moving on tracks, so you get more and more points throughout the rounds. There's 3 of them. Super quick, like you could play probably in an hour with 5 people. One that I highly recommend if you haven't played it and you want like a bigger group game that is super simple to learn and lots of depth.
Yeah, that's always a blast to play. It's just like super, super fun. My number 5 then is Terra Mystica. This is a heavy game. And when you play it, you feel like you get nothing done. But it's super fun, I promise. Well, it has actually been like the new edition of that, which is Gaia Project, which has made some other mechanisms into the things as well. I think they're both great, but Terra Mystica came before 2013, so that had to make the list.
Yeah, and if you are watching this now and you're thinking, why did Johannes skip his number 6? It's because I did. And I'm going to do it now instead.
Yeah, because I'm just like,
My number 6 is a crossover, and it is The Princess of Florence.
Okay, cool.
It's a fantastic game. And also, I did my number 5 already, so we're going to go back to your number 4.
Cool.
This is going to look very weird on like the graphics. It's going to be like number 6, number 5, number 5,
could have just gone with
6.
it, but
No, but I already said my favorite. My number 5 is my favorite 5-player game.
True.
So yeah, that was my number 5 and 6 in opposite order.
Yeah, my number 4 is a crossover. It's Solkin for all of the reasons that we have talked about.
Why didn't you do number 1 now and then we did like in the different order?
Well, that would be cool.
So you did number 4.
Yes.
And I'm gonna do actual number 4 now.
Looking forward to that.
Looking forward to that. I
Ha!
like it. We need to have puns for every number now. We don't. My number 4 is a game.
Cool.
It has components.
Okay, is it from before 2013?
No, I knew it was something I had forgotten.
Okay.
It is a game about vehicles that you move around in. You have to buy a ticket to be on the vehicle. If you don't work on the vehicle, because then you don't have to. These are the best hints ever dropped. If you haven't guessed it by now, you're normal. It is Age of Steam.
I'm just like, you can't have Ticket to Ride on your list. I refuse.
But it's about trains.
Yeah, it
and
is.
you need to have, it's a vehicle,
Yeah.
and you need to have tickets.
And it's very simple with a lot of depth, isn't it?
Go and watch your low complexity, high depth video to see where that came from. But yeah, Age of Steam is fantastic. It's so brutal. It has low complexity and high depth. It's a lot of stuff in it.
has a lot of depth. Yes.
It's a fantastic game. So many maps. We have both the old and the new version. We have so many maps for the game. Not many. We know people who have like 16,000
Yes.
maps. We have maybe 15. But it's one that I always enjoy playing. I like how simple it is. It's not a simple game. It's a simple, heavier game, like rules-wise. I enjoy that, and I enjoy that all the decisions are super important, and some maps are super wonky. We have played the Moon, for example, which I love, but it's a weird map. But it makes the game very different, and all the maps make it more like a system than a game. Like it's a game system, and you can make all these maps that make the game feel like a different game. Make the game feel like a different game, and you need a ticket.
Yeah, this is so brutal. Last time I played it, I just chose the wrong starting position, and it was a struggle, uphill struggle from there. It's so fun.
It's the only game I have ever played where in the second round I was like, hey, can we start over? Because I'm out of the game.
Yeah.
We played a 3-player game. You weren't in that one.
No.
And I basically did a super mistake in the first round. I was like, there's 8 rounds in the game and I'm going to be blocked until round 6. So we started off in another map and I did still not win.
My number 3 then, is that correct?
I guess so.
Yeah. I got a little confused, but it's number 3 now.
Number 3.
It's Le Havre. This is a great game from Uwe Rosenberg. It's the best, I think. It's just
You do?
Yeah, I think it's my favorite Uwe Rosenberg game actually.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Spoiler for when we do ranking all the Uwe Rosenberg games. We haven't actually planned for that. If you want to see it, let us know in the comments.
Well, it was when we did our top 100
Okay.
last time. It was.
This year we're doing a top 1,000.
Oh no! Please, no, no! It's a trap. It's a great game, and I enjoy it a lot. It's like what I love about this game is the tension on how long to wait to take the things that you need, because every time that you wait, it will add more resources.
But other people also want things.
Yes,
And you want things.
yes, and in the beginning of the game, you're like, oh, it's 2 of this thing here. I have to take it now. And
Do you
then-
not remember a single
no.
resource in
Fish.
the game? That's one.
Bricks,
Yeah.
tree, a wood. I don't know, tree.
There's like 16,000, like, and there's a
Fish.
new thing, and there's 2 other
Fish.
things.
Yes, thing. What should I?
What do you do in the game?
No. But at the end of the game, it's like 15,000 fish on the space, and just like, nah, I don't need fish. And at the beginning, it was so hard to get fish.
That's true. What
It's
kind
like-
of game is it?
You're building thing. It's a worker placement with 1 worker or something, isn't it?
Yes,
2?
and you're
One?
there's one.
2?
Yeah, there's one.
1.
And you are building buildings,
Buildings.
And activating buildings. You
Yeah.
can activate other people's buildings, and you try to get these ships so you can send out these resources, and also ships so you don't have to
Management.
pay so much food, because this is a game where you pay so much
Yes.
food to your people all the time. They're so hungry. Yeah, fantastic game. My number 3 is Bros.
Cool.
And you could say Lancashire, but I think they did some changes to that, so it's Bros. The original, I only played the original Bros one time, but I loved it, and Bros Lancashire is almost exactly the same. I think they maybe took out like a super wonky rule that nobody used, but other than that, it's the same thing. It's the same log. If you know that reference, let me know in the comments. But yeah, Bros is fantastic. I love Birmingham as well. but it can't be on this list because it's from after 2013, and that would be cheating. But Brawls Lancashire is a fantastic game. Hand management, card playing game, building up, trying not to get screwed by other people who build where you want to build, building up a network, don't having any coal, being mad, trying to send stuff, sell stuff, and be cool.
Yeah, Bros is a great game. I love the what do you call it?
This thing?
Yeah, that's the thing. The player
Turn
order.
order.
Yes.
Yes.
Which order you spend your money, and that you can take a loan. That's kind of what you need to do sometimes in this game. But this is my number 2. So yeah, and that.
Switcheroo.
I
number
also
2.
like this game.
So your number 2 was a
Brass.
crossover.
Yes.
My number 2 is going to be a crossover, and it's called Le Havre.
Cool. Okay, so we
Fantastic
just did a
game.
switcheroo.
We did that, and yeah, we have one more to go. But if anything in this video was helpful to you, then it would be super helpful to us back if you subscribe to our channel. It's a super simple thing to do, but if you want to see more of us, then that's a super nice way of showing it. Not showing it, but showing it. We are not from England. We do not speak English every day. But yeah, if you like what you see and you want to see more, subscribe. But if you don't know how, welcome to Sunniva's tutorial on how to subscribe on YouTube.
Step 1, have your computer or cell phone at hand. You do.
Oh, I need
Great.
to write this down.
Yes. Number 2, locate the subscribe button. It's right down there. You can kind of see it with your eyes. Step 3, click it. And step 4, click the bell button to get notifications every time we post a new video.
Yes, it means a lot to us.
Yes.
It shows us that you like what we do and we don't just speak into a void. And that is helpful because we would be crazy if we're just speaking into a void. We do have the camera on, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I think so.
Yes.
Are we even here? I don't know. But we have number 1 left. I'm going to go ahead and guess it's going to be a crossover.
Yes.
So let's just count to 3 and say it out loud.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. The
Castles of
Burgundy!
You said it out loud.
Oh,
I
yeah.
said it a lot. Aloud.
Loud. Castles of Burgundy. It's a
Yes.
game for me. Yeah, number 1. Castles of Burgundy. Great game. What do you want to say about that game?
It's great.
I already said that. I used that
You
word.
coined that. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. You have to say like awesome or fun cannon or stuff like that.
It is a fun cannon. It is an absolutely like delight of a game. I love it to bits. It's a special place in my heart game because it's one of the earlier games like from this list.
What does this mean?
From this list,
Oh, yeah.
I'm pointing to my list that we played like the first in our. I want to say lives, but that's not true.
Journey in Hobby Board
Journey
Games.
yeah, that's true.
I don't think it's a shock for anybody if you have watched the channel before that this is going to be on top of the list.
No, I hope not.
I think this is a really fun list to make.
I agree.
I had a lot of fun.
It was a lot of good games.
And we had actually not that many crossovers.
No, I think that is because I kind of didn't scroll. Well, but I'm proud of the games here. They're good games, and I can't choose everything. That's not how a top 10 works.
That would be a top everything and
Yes.
would be very boring and not helpful at all. But those are some games that we really enjoyed that came out before 2013. And that means that is going to be the end of this video. If you have enjoyed it, we're super happy that you're here. If you have not enjoyed it, maybe you enjoy some other video. I don't know, but you can try out other videos that we have made and check them out.
Yes.
But that's the end of this one. I'm Johannes.
I'm Sunniva.
And you have been watching our channel, which is called Board Gaming Ramblings. And bye-bye.